So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Fabulous viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that this reading resonates with you guys. And for those of you guys who are returning, I'm so blessed to be here again doing your reading. I just want to make mention that there is a promotion going on right now. If you're interested in 35% off a private reading or any antique vintage jewelry, anything off prairievintagejewelry.com, enter in code sunshine35 at the checkout and save 35% off up until the end of March. All right, so thank you to those of you guys who have booked and purchased beautiful jewelry off my site. I do appreciate any way you can support me. And we will be taking a look at today's reading using these decks right here. I'll put a link to the deck reveals for those of you guys interested in any of these decks and energetically charging these cards for future reads. And this will be a pick a option. Okay, and I'll hold these three options shortly. And this reading, we'll be taking a look at what sort of struggle is coming to an end in your world. Okay, so challenge, struggle, or whatever it is sort of exiting out. And what is it that is coming into your world? What are you birthing? What new energy is coming in for you? So we'll be looking at what's exiting and what's sort of being birthed or coming in with the new. Okay, so like I said, this is a pick an option, so you don't have to sort of stick to one pile, and you definitely could be pulled to multiple piles. Okay, it's up to you to sort of use your intuition, whichever one feels right to you, and I will put the timestamps below. So for option number one, we have this fidget spinner with the little bubbles. All right, option number two, we have this little jointed, I don't know what it is, fidget spinner as well. Okay. And then we have this dinosaur keychain with the little bubbles here. All right, so beautiful people, sit with this energy and take as long as you need. Okay, and listen to your intuition. Whichever one sort of pulls you first will most likely be your pile. Okay, it definitely could be tapping into energy around you as well. It doesn't have to belong to you. It could be your higher self. It could be aspects in regards to a current situation. It could be collective energy. I never know what we're going to see until we tap into that energy. Okay, so keep an open mind, and I will see you guys at your pick. Pile number one, you pick this fidget spinner right here, and we're taking a look at what energy is sort of exiting your life and what is coming in, or what are you birthing energetically here that's going to be shifting for you. Okay, so I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these. And then the tarot deck we'll be using is the Golden Universal Tarot for your reading. Okay, which is this deck right here. And we'll pull from the tarot shortly. So let's first take a look at your oracle cards. Okay, and I do want to make mention, in case you skipped the intro, that there's a promotion going on right now. Save 35% off prairievintagejewelry.com. And you can also save off of all your private readings there as well if you enter in code sunshine35 at the checkout from now till the end of March. Okay, so I'll put all that information below. Let's take a look. So we have 64 with healing through rest. Wow. So number 64 is 10, and that is 1. Okay, so 10s are all about completions and ends of cycle, and 1s are all about new beginnings. So very fascinating that your first card is sort of confirming what sort of reading we're doing here. Okay, so let's take a look. We also have 22 with nature. 22 is a master number. Peacemaker, diplomacy, healthy energetic boundaries, and divinely guided relationships. We have a lot of red here too, which could be talking about root chakra. Okay, rest. Something about the physical body coming through. And then we have knowing with 14. So 14 is giving me Sagittarius energy. I'm feeling from this pile so far a Gemini, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Okay, and some Pisces as well. So we have knowing. Fascinating. And then we have inner power. Oh my goodness. Knowing inner power. Who are you? Beautiful. It's a beautiful butterfly as well. Butterflies are all about transformation and liberation. It's the highest state of potential here, where we transform. And look at all her eyes here. And here we have another eye. Eyes always give me the High Priestess energy. Okay, this is the knowing. 14 is also temperance, which is that balance. Okay, and then we have 33 with dreams, another master number. This is the throat chakra. Okay, I know it's purple here, but the author used the different colors here in these chakra cards. So this is the throat chakra, 33 master number. Reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and harmony. Okay, 3s are about growth, relationships, initial success. This divine empress energy. It's also hangman energy, which is about a shift of perspective, maybe a period of pause where we're getting connected to the divine with this knowing. Okay, knowing could be hermit energy as well. So we have some Virgo coming through, another 6 here. Okay, so 6s are problem solving, compassion, harmony. 6s are all about community and love and healing. Also 66 is a master number. Service is a source of joy, in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. Okay, so to have an overflowing cup, we are connecting to our inner love or inner stability or inner strength or inner power. Wow. Okay, so let's ask Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 1 regarding what is exiting pile 1's life and what is coming into pile 1's energy field here. What are they giving birth to energetically? And what are they releasing? And what is going and what is coming here? I feel there's only 3 here. All right. So you guys have temperance. Okay, this temperance is in the reverse. Sagittarius energy. Definitely guided here with this 22 and this temperance. Okay, Ace of Wands. And you have the 4 of Cups in the reverse. So let me tap into this energy, beautiful angel, and communicate what it is that Spirit is talking about here for you. Okay, can you guys see? It's kind of dark in here. Casting shadows. If I turn this light on, am I going to blind you? I think I'm going to leave the light on. Maybe I'll move them here so you can see. Sorry, throwing it all off. Okay. Let me tap back into this energy. Beautiful angel. I feel like you have been out of balance just energetically. This is really talking about your state of being. Okay. Internal state of being reflects what's going on sort of around you. It could be quite exhausting when we are out of balance, meaning our emotions could be sort of up and down. We could feel ungrounded. We could feel exhausted. We could feel all sorts of ways. And I feel like you are definitely being divinely guided by spirits. I mean, we're all on a guided path one way or another, okay, but I feel like there's a connecting to and a knowing and an intuition here and working very closely with spirit. Okay, so this path is leading you somewhere. If you're feeling like maybe I'm not going anywhere, or it's a dead end, or something like this, could be running through your mind at some point in time. Okay, but Spirit is talking about whatever period of exhaustion, a period where we're feeling ungrounded, or maybe we're feeling like victim of our circumstance, or like we don't have enough energy, that's going away. Okay, I do feel like there is a balanced version of you that's going to allow you to sort of have more energy to be inspired to do things that when we're completely energetically drained or out of balance that we don't do. So we could pass up on a lot of opportunities, even on stuff maybe that you once enjoyed doing. It's like I'm not motivated, or I'm not inspired, or I just feel too drained, too depressed, or too dysregulated to commit myself to anything or to even get excited about anything. And I do feel I've been reading for this energy for quite some time. Okay, so maybe you've been here before, but I feel like there is a real solidness about you that's really being reinforced by your understanding of this journey a little bit better. It's like now I'm actually seeing the enjoyment of this part of experience of the spiritual guidance that's been given to me. And I feel like when you are still and when you are sort of more at rest and balance, more is going to be shown to you about where you're being directed. Because I feel like maybe you've been really in the dark, And a lot of times when we go through the experience with spirits initially, we're like not really seeing, we're kind of thrown into the fire, we're having to feel our way through. Our intuition might be completely blocked or just mixed in with fears and a whole bunch of stuff. And I feel like you are sort of on a need to know basis and not privy to information, and I'm not talking about like book reading and conceptual spiritual information so much as that I am spiritual experience and an inner knowing of where you're really being directed that's specific to you when it comes to your purpose. Because I do feel like there has been a misalignment in your world. So either you've been, I don't know, attached to a career that feels misaligned, or a relationship that hasn't been supporting you, or you outgrew maybe where you live or who you live with or something like this. Okay, so that world I feel is shifting away. And I feel like the new world is actually more aligned with your truest self, which is now coming online. Okay, so it's not necessarily that this is like this new different version of you that is like wanting all these different things. It's more of this truer version of you is now coming through. Because I do feel like in the past, we might have had to, play small to that, or just we were programmed to live someone else's story or do something else that wasn't necessarily fulfilling or truly authentic. Maybe we're on auto program or just like checking off boxes or like just a groove something, spiritually, there's so much growth here. And I feel like the big one though is this state of balance. And I think the more you sort of understand and experience, okay, and again, not conceptually here, because I feel like this is all through an inner experience of spiritual growth. And the more you're sort of connected to the divine, because I think synchronicities have been there, but maybe they've been hard to read. Intuition's been there, but maybe it's been mixed with fears. Guidance has been there, but we weren't sure if we were going insane or if this was a sign, a symbol, or what it meant. Dreams were there, but they could have been sort of all over the place, or we're trying to find meaning in certain things. And all of this might have seemed kind of confusing here, or just we have to make sense of certain things. And I feel like the more these sort of things are happening now, I think the more you can connect and make sense of it. Specifically, I do feel dreams. Okay, if you're not having dreams or getting downloads in your dreams from spirit, then it is the symbols you are getting and the synchronicities, because for all of us, it could be different. You could be seeing angel numbers, you could be hearing certain things, or coming across certain names or certain spirit animals or whatever. Some of you guys, it could be butterflies, okay, or whatever you're seeing, birds, something. Here's we have a frog. I don't know what that thing is. That looks like a platypus. If you've seen a platypus where you live, then I'm sort of envious of you, because I'd love to see a platypus, although I think they're fairly dangerous. Anyway, sidebar. So yeah, whatever your synchronicities or symbols, because this is definitely a guided journey of a dance with you in spirit that you can't ignore. Okay, and it is healing your base fundamental of your security, and it really is sort of working with you to get grounded in your own energy. So I feel like it's been healing a lot of wounds, okay, if you want to call it a wound, trauma, beliefs that were sort of rooted in the root chakra here, which could have caused all sorts of patterns and behaviors. Okay, this could be doing certain things that are misaligned or just don't feel right to the body, or like certain actions that sort of drain us and that sort of a thing. Okay, and really sort of once we sort of work through this, it's like those synchronicities, those signs, and like I said, for some of you guys, it is through the dream space. We're actually getting closer to our purpose and the thing in which we're being sort of on earth here for, because I do feel like we're here for a purpose, many purposes, of course, but one sort of main thing that you're rolling out here. And so this thing is being birthed more clearly as you stabilize and ground yourself, and as you sort of lean into this part of yourself that's now more at peace. Because I feel like the biggest thing that's going away is feeling not at peace, feeling up and down, maybe feeling dysregulated, maybe just go, 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 go. You know, haven't had time to think, or I haven't had time to really energetically feed my soul or take care of my body. And I had no room to do anything new, maybe, you know, and maybe you had in the back of your mind sort of a knowing or an idea of something you wanted to try or do. And it's like, I just too drained at the end of the day, or there's not enough hours at the end of the day, or I don't even know how to begin this thing, or I'm just discouraged, you know, like discouraged because I feel like we might have carried an understanding as well on top of this of a pressure of maybe where you were supposed to be or how you were supposed to understand a certain thing, and then feeling discouraged, like I can't get there, I don't know how I get there, or I'm not really shown, I don't know what I'm doing with this intuitive guidance that I'm being given, and all sorts of things that we could sort of do with the information that's being delivered to us. So this does seem to be a rejuvenation of the body vessel here a lot, okay? I think it's like if you haven't been eating healthy, and then it's eating more healthy. If it's been, I need a regimented routine with my sleep, or maybe with exercise or something like this, you know, or just being more active. Maybe you wanted to get more out into nature itself, and it's like I'm always around, I don't know, computers or indoors or around concrete or something like this. And it's like I'm now aligning with something that's more authentic and more natural to your vibration. And I think this sort of silences what has been draining your battery and creating this haywire energy, because something's been draining your battery here. Okay, and so maybe we finally find the culprit in the diet, or the culprit in the whatever it was we were intaking, okay? Because we could be intaking food or intaking energy from certain people, even like social media or whatever, on a regular basis, and not realize there's like a leakage, a drain here, you know, of your energy. And so if you're feeding something that's dysregulated or open to that dysregulation, and it's not aligned with your truth or strength, and then it's sort of contaminating this energy that's trying to come through here, okay, that's more peaceful, more balanced. Now, of course, nothing can contaminate your pure, authentic self, but we could certainly distort it or like feed some other thing and feel too drained, And so I feel like there's this energy of yours that's really sort of being reinforced by your environment more and more and more, so that your stillness and your peace can reveal more to you here. I feel there is this real balancing of mind, body, spirit. Okay, I'm seeing the triangle here, and I'm seeing, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But to me, it's really talking about the divine being connected to your mind, your body vessel, and your spirits, and it's finding harmony and balance, so that our mind's not thinking one thing, our body's doing another, and spirit is sort of, or your higher self is sort of knowing something different, because that's when we feel very drained. Okay, we know when we're in flow, our body, mind, spirit is all sort of in sync. It's like, I know for the higher good, my mind is aligned and my body is sort of doing what's aligned. Okay, rather than I'm here on the couch eating chips or drinking beer, let's just say. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but whatever that is. And then my mind is thinking of stress and what I should be doing at work or what I need to be cleaning in the house. And then my spirit is knowing of where there's more authentic use of my healing powers, or where I could deliver to the collective somehow through acts of service here. And so I have these three different energies that I might be, like sitting with here. And so it's sort of, yeah, oh my gosh, even this, the three. And what I'm getting is like, going round and round. And it's like when we have, now I'm seeing like, I don't know, like three people sort of pushing a boat. Okay. And if all three people are sort of pushing or rowing in the right direction, it sort of moves where it's supposed to go. But if all three people are sort of, one's pushing one way, one's pulling another way, and another one's going in a complete different direction, we sort of do circles or we stay there. And so we could be trapped at some point in time, someplace that feels very draining, like we weren't getting anywhere, And so again, the mind, body, and spirit, it's like all of who you are, because yes, we're not the body, nor are we the mind, but the body and the mind is a part of the energy in which sits in your consciousness here. And so everything sort of comes into balance so that you can row yourself or point yourself towards the direction of something that you're creating. Because I feel like the something you're creating, spirit needed to prime your energy. This is why you went through whatever you went through here, okay? Whatever experience you had. The spirit was saying you weren't primed or ready or strong enough energetically. Now, this has nothing to do with muscle so much as it is maybe spiritual strength, Maybe it was like spiritual discipline in some way, or burning through certain beliefs, certain habits, and certain things that weren't aligned with your authenticity. And so this seems to be mind, body, spirit is all sort of coming into balance or union. And now I get this download or this inspiration or this dream or this synchronicity that I can actually hear and do something about, because I'm not too drained or too tired. And I can decipher this thing, and I'm excited about this thing. And so there doesn't seem to be a resistance or I can't do it, spirit, or I don't know what you mean, spirit, or I'm just too not there yet, or I'm just focused on another thing here. Or maybe we knew we were giving into something else, but battling ourselves, saying, well, where can I find it within me to do this other thing that you might have known in your higher self, or that spirit was sort of showing you, but it's like, I'm not there, or I can't find a way to get there because I'm too, again, not ready, drained, or energetically not balanced enough to sustain this thing, because maybe it was like knowing, but not being able to sort of maybe do or sustain. Okay, so I feel like there's a peace here, and there's an allowance to be at peace. And because I do feel like maybe if you felt really rushed get somewhere or do something, you know? It's like that's just adding pressure. This is like being at peace with spirit and where spirit has you. It's like spirit wants me to be at peace and at rest. Okay, spirit, I know this is for a purpose. I know you're trying to show me something. And so I'm going to open my hands to receive what you're trying to show me or tell me or guide me, rather than I'm going to fight and try to, you know, like do something else or beat myself up in some sort of way. So your highest potential is coming online here. And I feel like it's the purpose. Okay. When I say potential, it's like what you've been here, put here on earth for. There's an output of something. And like I say, all of you guys is different because we're not all here to, you know, be necessarily healers, but I mean, we could be healers in many different fields because we're adding to the collective here. Okay. We can heal through music. We can heal through art. We can heal through words or creations. We can heal through gestures, whatever it is. I feel like there's a version of you that is really, it feels less heavy. It feels light. It feels energized. It feels motivated. It doesn't feel as heavy and as sluggish and as drained from, you know, maybe peaks and valleys, because maybe also for some of you guys, this is coming through. It could be that maybe we felt this way, but it was, or this way, like peace or like balance. And then it was not sustaining. It's like, oh, where's the balance I found? Where's the groundedness I found? And then we crash, you know, it's like a crash again. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm back in my old habit, or I fell off the wagon, if you will. You know, maybe we had certain disciplines or something like this. Okay, now this isn't telling you that you need to get disciplined at all. That's not the messaging here, okay? Because I don't want there to create a narrative or attach to any sort of story, because this energy is letting go of attachments to labels and stories and what I got to do and what was right or what's more spiritual or this. It's like, no, nobody's going to tell you what's more spiritual, okay? Because it's just your authentic self requires a certain alchemical balancing, and only your authentic self knows what this is in spirit. Okay, more quiet time, maybe it's not, maybe it's more creative time, maybe it's more sleep, maybe it's more activity, maybe it's, you know, and so, and maybe it is sitting with junk food. I doubt it, but you know what I mean. It's not saying you got to get, you know, you got to get into this spiritual Buddha place of silence and meditation. Okay, although I do feel it is highly spiritual, I do feel there's a lot of silence because I do feel it's a resting of the mind. It's a letting the spirit sort of flow in, because I'm no longer giving that energy to something that was draining me, or interjecting with a belief, or resisting with some sort of thing that maybe I've always done or comes in, like a worry, a thought, a habit, a thing that derails it or crashes it, that we sort of feed. Okay, so this feels very balanced. It feels very beautiful. It feels very guided. It feels like more is being revealed. And I think this is a buildup of the strength that allows you to sort of open the chapter to the next thing, because now you're motivated. Now you're excited. Now you're, you know, even though it is peaceful, it's not like this energy that's like, go, go, go. It feels to me like, because I'm still and at peace and at balance, I'm now energetically motivated to learn this next thing, or understand the next chapter for myself here without fear or worry or pressure or anxiety or feeling drained again. Okay, so this is very beautiful. Pile number 1, I do feel you're highly intuitive, and yeah, I love to see this energy coming towards you. All right, so I hope this helped you, and I will see you guys at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys picked this fidget spinner right here with the little joints and the little metal balls. So this is the Golden Edition Tarot, and we're going to take a look at what is exiting your world energetically and what is coming in energetically for you. Okay, what are you birthing, or what's going to be new in your world? So something's leaving, something's coming in. We'll take a look at these pre-shuffled oracle cards, which I've not looked at, and then we will use the tarot to dive into the energy. So right now I do have a promotion. If you skip the intro on my website, prairievintagejewelry.com, I'll put a link below. Save 35% off all readings jewelry if you enter in code sunshine35, SUNSHINE 35, from now till the end of March to save 35% off. All right, so let's take a look. We have the one who needs to control with 20. And we have Path of the Heart, 25. Or the number 7. So I'm getting Pisces, Cancer energy, and some Libra. And we have Be Open, beautiful purple energy. Some Pisces energy coming through again. I'm feeling a little bit of Capricorn as well from this red energy here. Okay, and then we have Service, 25. Look at that, synchronicity. 2525 you could be seeing as an angel number. If you can, type in 2525 in Google and then comment what that is, because I'm curious to know what 2525 means, okay, as an angel number. If you can, please, I would really appreciate it. So this is the heart chakra, okay, and it's talking about a path of the heart and then be open. So interesting, getting a lot of heart energy here, which I love to see, of course, okay. Yeah, but 2525, okay, that's 77. And 77 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, trust of self. Okay, so how do we get wisdom? Through going through trials, tribulations, or seeing certain things, challenges, okay, and then learning the lesson or the wisdom of the experience, taking that knowledge and turning it into the wisdom of the heart here. Okay, but 7s are all about faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding, spirituality, intellect, personal growth, solitude, metaphysics. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, for pile number 2, regarding what is exiting their world and what is coming in. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Pile 2, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you coming to this channel because I do realize you have a lot of readers you can see or go to. I do feel it is these here. Okay, so we have Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Some of you guys might have been drawn to pile 1 as well. We had an Ace of Wands come through that reading. Okay, although this might be a very different sort of energy here. 4 of Wands in reverse. Okay, 1 plus 4 is 5. We have 2 5s here. Okay, or in the 25. Okay, and then we have the 5 of Cups, another 5. Okay, 5s are all about this change and this rebuild. Okay, it could be conflict, it could be loss. We see conflict here with a need for control. Okay, and then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. All right, so let me sit here with your energy, beautiful people, and we'll look at what's going out of existence and what's coming into existence in your world. Sagittarius energy is also coming through. Okay. Okay, a beautiful angel. It's been challenging. Okay, I feel like you feel your set of circumstances have been challenging. I don't know if it's people around you, what you've experienced. It could be one sort of event. It could be just sort of your whole environment, some specific person. Okay, there's something that's been driving your energy. Okay, and it's been very challenging for you. Now, this is shifting and changing. Okay, and I feel like it's going to be a transition from an understanding that you currently have and shifting into another energy that's going to sort of be opposite, if you want to call it opposite. Okay, but it's not going to flip sort of overnight like a switch. I feel like you're graduating slowly into an energy that's opposite, slowly, through things being revealed to you. Okay, so we can say it's something that is being experienced, and then you sit with that experience, and then you learn through reflecting and seeing through maybe certain mind illusions. Okay, like when I say a mind illusion, it's like I used to believe this, or I used to give that power, or now I see how maybe I have more freedom to think this or to do this. Okay, because I feel in the past there was a tight grip or a control over you in some way. Okay, now that's the illusion, because nothing can control us unless we feed that story. Okay, so if we have like an anchor point within us, meaning there's something in my energy that believes in that story, that identity, that attachment, that thing, then that thing will control and pull me. It could control my emotions. It could make me feel a certain way one moment and another, and then it dictates my actions. And so I'm at the mercy of trying to put out fires, or trying to maintain harmony, or trying to find my peace, seeking and putting out fires. So this is an exhausting energy. It's like a tight rein on something, because we're trying to force our will or way to find peace. And no matter how, what our story sounds like, I just want love, or I just want peace, or I just want harmony, or I just want the best thing, I just want success. It's like, it doesn't matter what we sort of want. Okay, or our intention, because we might say, well, if I want love, if I want peace, if I want harmony, then that should be good. Why is the universe doing the opposite, And the universe is saying, no, it's not about what we're wanting, because that's an attachment to a story of which we're sort of trying to narrate here. And Spirit is saying, when we see reality, what's happening in front of us, and we don't try to control it, dictate it, okay, even if this is a controlling person, okay, or someone who has power over my energy in some way because of that belief, and we see reality as it is, it no longer has a hold of us, and it no longer pulls our emotions up and down or makes us act in certain ways. Because right now I feel like you're tethered, or have been tethered, to a person, place, thing. And the more it's sort of disappointing, or the more it fluctuates, the more need for control, or the more need you are seeking some sort of happiness here. So I do feel like your intention is in a good place, because I do feel like you are wanting peace. You are wanting to connect with love. You are wanting to do good things. Okay, good things. No such thing as good, so much as it is. Spirit, I want to surrender to what is, without all of this stuff that I carry, because I feel like the stuff you carry is the challenge. And I say stuff carrying is like a belief, an identity, an attachment to story, is all where the pain is sort of housed. Okay. And so I feel like there is connecting more with the truth of reality. Okay. Because Spirit is always sort of putting in front of you opportunities. Okay, but we could be sort of completely lost in the story of needing control, or reading it in a certain way, because we have the ability to read it however we want. That's a perception. Okay. And so Spirit is saying these perceptions, these understandings have been really sort of dictating your energy. And when we loosen up that need to control, or that understanding we have, we're more in a flowing energy. And when we flow, there's less suffering, and we connect with certain parts of ourself. Okay, that's more aligned with truth and authenticity and flow and peace and harmony and love. And then we're more productive. We're more in an ability to utilize our energy more aimed. Okay, because I feel like what's going out of existence is right now your energy feels like it's being robbed. That's how you feel, or it's being dictated or pulled by circumstance, person, place, or thing. And you can't help it. It's like, well, this person is draining, or this thing is doing this, or I need to get there. I want to do this thing. And so I'm really attached to that story. And the more we cling and attach and believe that story, the more drained, because we're feeding a non-entity. And Spirit just wants you to feed the present moment with what is. Okay? Because there is where love lies. In the heart here, when we're totally in sync with what is, and we can let love flow, and we could be of service because we're present in the moment. We're not thinking about what we need to do, or how we need to control narrative, or where it's going to go, or any of that stuff. So the most loving thing to do is to be in the present moment, completely open and completely ready to be of service. Okay, so I feel like a lot of this, excuse me, energy is talking about past disappointments, past ideas of maybe what you thought you had wanted or seen as a vision of where you needed to go or where you needed to be, or why certain things didn't go in certain ways that left you feeling maybe discouraged, or things that fell apart, or even just visions of what you wanted, but you were attached to how it would build or how it would get there or something like this. Okay, this is the stuff that you're sort of releasing in order for you to sort of be open to work with spirits, because I do feel there's a resistance to what is, and there has been challenge when it comes to allowing things to flow, because we might not like what we're feeling or seeing and saying, well, if I don't like it, why would I let it sort of happen? It's like, well, that would be an egoic story that we can intervene in any way, because what will happen is going to happen through a natural, and our job is to be in the present moment, okay, doing the dance of the universe. Now, this doesn't mean we allow, like murderers to take place over the innocent and be like, oh, that's meant to happen, I'm just sort of sitting here helpless. It's like, no, we can do what we can do. Okay, but when we started attached to the story that I'm going to have this outcome and I'm a doer here and I'm making this, resisting this and making this, we create all sorts of suffering here because we're not a doer and we cannot control any outcome. We could just be in the present moment. And so when the universe creates something in front of us, it's neutral. We sort of attribute whether it's positive or negative with our perception. So Spirit's putting something in front of you, and you're going to sort of not project a need to control it or change it or direct it or do something with it that creates the resistance or the challenge. Because I feel like you're butting your head up against the wall trying to force something. For all of you guys, it's a different thing, but I feel it might be one major bone of contention, one major person, one major problem, one major pain in the ass workplace or boss, or or a goal that I've been at it, and it's like a belief that I have to get at it because I'm a doer. Okay, I feel like you've been really clutching onto, like even this hand language. Okay, it's the hand language here for me is talking about clinging to attached outcome. So much so that it's been creating this resistance and this challenge for you. So you've been sort of creating your own challenge, okay, regardless if it's like you've been perceiving it as a person or place or an external. And it's once we loosen the grip, we let things sort of flow. And when you let things flow, okay, this isn't putting up with abuse and any of that stuff, because if that's how you're taking this reading, this isn't your channel, this isn't your reading at all. Okay? And I do want to talk about boundaries. I don't know if it came up for you or where it was coming up. I think it was for pile 1, but I didn't mention it. Okay, but it's coming through here very strong. When we create a boundary, it's our attachment to a story of what I can put up with and what I don't. And it's really the story itself that we're either resisting and creating the suffering, okay? Because can I be in a body that's in this present moment where I'm not harmed? I'm not harmed in this present moment, okay? There's no harm in the present moment, but the story and the label we put on this thing is creating this harm, and we pick and choose what's harmful, but what's not, what's going to be dangerous to me, or what's going to threaten me, or what's going to make me want to not to deal with it, okay? Because those are the perceived stories, attachments, and labels to certain aversions to things. And so any aversion to anything creates suffering and this sort of an energy, okay? Because I do feel there's a resistance here. And it goes both ways, because we could resist what we don't like and dress it up as a healthy boundary, like I always talk about, okay? And of course, if we're going to the extreme, well, this person has a hammer and they're chasing me. Of course, you protect your head. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when we have any sort of aversion because I've had trauma of the past, it's not healed. And so it's almost like blocking out anything that will impact my trauma. And so out there needs to adapt to me. No. How I heal this thing is I don't have to carry this thing because the experience happened. I'm not attached to the story. I can let that go. It's not anchored in me. And so nothing can pull. Okay. The only reason why things and people can pull is because I still carry the story and the belief and that attachment, and it's anchored within me. And so now someone pulls at that. I get emotional. I try to control, resist. Okay. I have aversions to certain things. I create certain boundaries and all of that stuff. It's like, okay, that's what's creating the suffering. That's what creates the resistance. In the present moment is neutral. There's nothing to boundary up about. So I feel like we're flushing out what didn't work. The story idea of what couldn't build and why it couldn't get the thing, and the painful ending or the pain of acceptance. Okay. And it only hurts because it's like the story believed something so true, and to let go of that illusion or that's shattering for us, it hurts. But when we see through that illusion that it was just a story, it wasn't a thing anyway in the present moment, it was a dream, it was an illusion, it was a resistance, it was not accepting the neutral thing. When we finally see that, it's like the pain's no longer there. It doesn't hurt no more. Because I feel like there's something here that we're coming to accept. Okay? And I think this is going to free you. Because what this means is finally I'm free. I'm free to be in this present moment to what is. And what is beautiful. Because you're going to see different things. And these different things are going to show you and lead you down new exciting paths. Okay? This doesn't mean that whatever you were trying to work towards won't happen. Okay, or whatever you're trying to control outcomes not happening or any of that. This means how you're getting there. Okay, it just means in the present moment, I'm dancing with the universe different. And now when I'm not in my mind or forced on outcome or doing this, there's more of my energy available because I'm more open. And now I can see different things. I can engage differently. I could flow differently. I could be of service differently. I'm producing differently. Because now my energy was going to control or aversion or blocking or boundary or resistance. It's now in line with truth. It's now in line with this present moment. I can now be open to receive and give. Okay, because at the end of the day, the giving and the receiving is in line with truth. But controlling, attaching, resisting, taking and keeping is that of the ego and the illusion story. And will continuously be disappointed and left sort of empty-handed. Okay, because there's always something to chase and attach to and hang on to, and that story of the ego is tired here. Okay, so this is all about heart opening. This is all about accepting the present moment. This is all about being comfortable in a body that can sit in this present moment with what is, and be of service and be awake to what is, without resistance and without trying to force outcome or cling or attach. And this goes if somebody's been trying to bully you, okay, or someone's doing something to me. Because nobody can do anything to you unless you have an anchor point within you that pulls at it, like I said. Okay, so we're identifying what within me, what story or what belief or what energy is within me that feeds that beast or that machine or attaches or grips that doesn't need to be there. And the more I see it and sort of call it out, not as a judgment, but as sitting and seeing through it, the more freedom I have. Because I do feel there's something very beautiful about you being available and open to go after something, okay, not as a doer, but after something that is presenting itself as an opportunity for you and it actually succeeding. Okay, so it could be the thing the way we want it. And sure enough, the minute we loosen our grip, that's when we get the thing, But when we're attached, when we're trying to control, it's like it keeps evading us. And that's the same law of like the law of attraction, I need this thing, I want this thing. And so the universe thinks there's a lack in our belief. I don't have the thing, I want it, I desire it, I need it. But when we act as if we have it, the universe has to deliver exactly that because we believe we have it, but we must really believe. Okay, and so there's something here about being open to believe that we have everything and what we need, and it allows yourself to sort of align with this thing. And so what's coming in, I do feel for all of you guys, it really is something different, but for sure what it is a shift in energy where it feels like a win. It doesn't feel like a control. It doesn't feel like I'm chasing something or I'm seeking something or I'm attaching to something or I'm gripping onto something I could lose. This feels like I feel energized by what spirit is putting in front of me. I feel I'm in flow. I feel I can work with the divine here. I don't feel disappointed. I don't feel let down. I don't feel like this is going to lead me to a dead end. I feel hopeful. I feel I could be of service. I feel I am of service. And I feel the more I sort of sit in this energy of love and gratitude and service, the more I can produce, because outpouring this type of an energy is very high vibration. Okay. And the other energy is a lower vibration, which takes from us and makes us feel heavy, and it's dense and draining. Okay. And so the more we sort of love, it's like almost like the more we can sort of do. And so this is why when we're sort of vibrating really high, it's like we could be really outputting a lot of content or a lot of art or a lot of love and project, because we're a higher vibration. It's very light. Okay. And when we're sort of depressed, it's like we're feeling like we can't do anything, or we feel chained or bound or stuck. Okay. And it's very sort of heavy. So it's contrast, like I said, but I do feel it is sort of slow here. Okay. I don't feel it's like an overnight, but I do feel it is polar opposite, because it's like, oh, I don't have to attach. Oh, I don't need to seek the thing. I just need to be in tune with this present moment and be available to see through whatever is here, so that when things do make itself available, I'm ready to engage because I'm open. My hands aren't clutching something else. Okay, like I always say, if we're clutching something else, the universe comes in with something, we're too distracted, our hands are busy, we're not open. Okay, we're open to receive what the universe wants to give to you, because I feel the universe wants to give to you. And all we kept experiencing was, universe, you're not giving to me, and I'm sort of challenged here, and so I'm going to grip it more. It's like, no. Okay, all this hand language to me is really like I'm seeing a lot of gripping, you know? So I feel like there's a letting go, and there's a trust in the universe, and then, like I said, the trust of self, because 77 was really coming through. Year 2525, trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom and trust of life, trust of self. Okay. And so, of course, if we trust the universe, then we can trust what's in front of us to be safe and to open up. But when we don't trust it, we're clinging and attaching. I'm not going to get what I want. I need to be the doer. I need to intervene. I need to control outcome. And then this creates all sorts of suffering here. Okay, so beautiful pile number 2. I feel you're learning a beautiful lesson of being in the present moment with what is, and learning to let go of control or of your own power when you do feel controlled by a set of circumstances that might feel like it's dictating your energy. It's like you see through that illusion, and whatever hasn't worked out here, you're making peace. And you're letting that go in order to be free to receive what is going to come through for you. Because I do feel what's coming through for you is full of love, abundance, truth. It's actually aligned with your truth more. Okay. And I feel it excites you. And I feel like it is something that builds on momentum here for you. Okay. That you can commit to and pour into. I feel there's a pouring into this thing. Okay. And I feel you're integrating this lesson for sure, because that wisdom, and 7 is all about chariot energy. Okay. Which is victory, the balance, integrating shadow, getting through the storm and the other side here. There's no stopping you. Okay. And 7 is also the tower energy, and the tower is the deconstruction of the false, or the thing that, we were trying to build something here on sand. And it's like, no, we can't, because it's just going to keep sort of falling down, and we keep butting our head and resisting this thing that couldn't work and didn't work. And let spirit manifest this thing for you. You don't got to do it. Whatever this thing is, I think you say, Spirit, you manifest this thing. You create this thing. I'm just a little me ego. I'm just a thing here that can't go outside of my own energy. I can't control anything. I don't know how my hands move. I don't know how I'm breathing. I don't know how my lungs are breathing. My blood is pumping. It's all you, Spirit. It's all the universe. Only the ego would think that it's doing anything. And so we let go of this control. There's nothing you can do, Okay. Now, like I say, it isn't saying just sit there and eat bonbons and nothing, and the universe is just gonna, but whatever this is of this thing, there is no forcing outcome. There's no doer. There's just being in line with the present moment, and then taking action in that present moment, not anticipating and not taking action based on past experience, but in this present moment, what is true, what is neutral here, and what can I do about it? Can I make any decisions here in this moment that is aligned with truth, with my heart? That's it. That's all you're being asked to do here, and there's less stress, and spirit will definitely align you with what's meant for you. You don't want to chase purpose, because what's for you is always aligned to you. Only we derail it when we cling to other things and start to force certain things and do certain things because we think we know better. Okay, so there's a big shift for you. And I love this energy. It feels like spiritual growth. It feels like integration of shadow. It feels like a letting go of anything that's creating turmoil or tension or control or any anchor point in you that's sort of pulling at your energy that you don't need. You're aligned more with spirit and love and the heart. Okay, this is your reading, pile number 2. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye. Hello, hello. Beautiful. Pile number 3. You guys picked the rubbery dinosaur. Just want to squish it. So we're looking at what is sort of going out of existence in your world energetically, and what is being birthed, what's coming in, what's new. Okay, we'll be using the Botticelli deck. I put this little monkey over here because we have a little bit of nudity, and the YouTube overlords don't like nudity. So, and the only boobies I want to see are my own. But anyway, so we're looking at the energy that's going out of existence. Okay, it could be in your 3D world, people, place, thing. Okay, but it could be a higher level spiritual reading. I don't know what we're going to see. Usually it's pretty spiritual here. Okay, and then what is coming into existence in your world. All right, so pre-shuffled oracle cards, I've not looked at them, and then we'll pull some tarot. And if you guys are interested in a private reading, I did mention this in the intro, there's a 35% off. Wow, I'm out of my mind. 35% off all private readings, all vintage jewelry off prairievintagejewelry.com. If you enter in Sunshine35, SUNSHINE 35 at the checkout. Okay, this runs till the end of March. Sorry, I know there's a lot of light here. So let's take a look. I'm excited to see. So we have 7 with ungrateful daughter and earthly mother. 7s are all about faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding. All right, Cancer energy. Ooh, we have 2 cards here. Look at that. 44, personal Mandela. Wow. And it's in black and white. I didn't even know this card existed in this deck. So 44 is a master number. Okay, integrity is a foundation, treating the earth as home and a temple, manifestation and leadership. Interesting. Earthly mother, treating the earth as home. Okay, look at all the little animals here. I don't know what sort of crane, a koala, a squirrel, and some form of a bird here. We have a hedgehog, a leopard, some snakes, a badger, and a peacock. That's what it looks like to me. And then some beetles, some insects, and some butterflies. Cute. All right, and then we see the sun and the moon. Gorgeous. And then we have freedom. My goodness, with the number 9. Look at all the animals here. Oh my goodness. Wolf. She's holding up the moon with her hands. We see a waterfall, a unicorn, mountains, more earth energy here. It's holding 2 candles. Okay, I just heard twin flames. Interesting. Some of you guys might be on a twin flame journey here with the 2 candles. Okay, we see, looks like the big bad wolf. A woman with her hands up. So you see water here with the fish. We see a horse here and a forest with trees. And then a lady here. I'm feeling a lot of the signs from this, all the planets here as well. All right, so a lot of earth, water. Okay, so we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces pulling through. A lot of the beautiful animals coming through here. And then we have the throat chakra with communication, number 30. Wow. And then we have treat yourself with this beautiful pink. Pink's all about self-love. Treat yourself. Okie dokie. Let's pull your tarot and ask spirit, what is coming into existence and out of existence for pile number 3? What is leaving pile 3's world energetically? And what is being birthed or born or coming into existence here for pile number 3? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you so much to your higher self and your spirit team for this message, and spirit, of course, and my spirit guides helping me to channel this message in a way that pile 3 will understand. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Pal 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Can you guys see glare? You can, and I don't care because I can't see if I turn that light off. So we have the Hierophant Taurus energy, fascinating. And we have the Page of Wands, and he is in reverse, the Knave of Wands. All right, and then we have what's on the deck. Wow, another titty titty bang bang. This is the World card. Fascinating. It was giving me Temperance energy here. Okay, I'm feeling Sagittarius energy, Taurus energy here. Lots of water still and earth still really coming through, although we did have fire, but this fire is in the reverse here. And the twin flames, like I said, are the candles here. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Wands, and he's also in reverse. So we have the Page and the Knight of Wands in reverse. I feel I want one more card here. Let's see, Spirit, what's going out of existence and what's coming into existence for pile number 3. Is there one more card here that needs to come forward for pile number 3? There's your card. It is the Ace of Pentacles. 2 angels holding this Ace of Pentacles, and it is in the reverse. All right. Interesting. Okay. Give me a moment to sit here with this energy and channel what your messaging is, okay? Personal Mandela. Wow. Okay, I still have questions, but let's begin to channel because sometimes the questions get answered by the end, okay? And I'm certainly not here to leave you more confused than how you came in here. And this could be maybe your energy right now, you know, maybe you have lots of questions. That's sort of how I'm feeling here, okay? But I do feel like, I feel your energy is quite selfless, is what I feel here, okay? And that's like, maybe you're really of service to someone around you, something around you. Maybe you're really providing. Okay, now you could be on the flip side taking. I doubt you're taking. Okay, I do feel like you're doing acts of service. Maybe you're really like invested in obviously being kind, as we all should be kind. Okay, there seems to be this giving energy of yours, and it feels to me like your environment is not supporting you. It doesn't feel appreciative of your energy, okay? And I don't feel like you're projecting that, you know, there's this mean, cold environment out there. However, our environment is always a reflection of what's going on in our internal world, okay? But the universe can put any sort of circumstance in front of us, and it's a neutral environment. We put our own beliefs and our weight, whether it's good, bad, onto that neutral experience, okay? But I don't want to gaslight you because this experience is happening doesn't feel good. So what doesn't feel good? We can't say, well, it's just neutral. It doesn't feel good for me, Linda. Okay, and I know it doesn't feel good for you. And I believe you, and you're allowed to feel exactly how you feel. And I feel like you're going through this experience, okay, with it does feel like it's with someone. This could be a loved one, could be a family member, could be a lover, could be a partner member. I was talking about a twin flame for some of you guys. It could be your twin flame or a soul that's connected, some karmic person in your world. Okay, something here is all talking about an energy here in which you've been trying to maybe be of service or support or something like this, okay? And I do feel like it's been a big challenge here. Okay, and the mountains are really standing out in this card, and then we see mountains here. It's probably hard to see because it's not colored in. Okay, mountains are talking about obstacles, challenges, you know, things that feel very fixed. So you could be dealing with fixed personalities, fixed situations, circumstances. There's nothing I could really do to sort of change this circumstance. And you'd be correct. We can't really necessarily move a mountain, right? But what we can do, though, is there's obviously another side of this mountain. And there's people who climb mountains, and there's people who drill holes through mountains, and there's so many ways to work with mountains. And sometimes we just build a village around the mountain, right? So the mountain itself isn't really the problem. But I feel like if we see that mountain, okay, and I'll just take this into context, okay, that mountain, that person, that obstacle, that challenge, that fixed thing, the more we sort of think, I got to move the mountain, or a fixed idea about, or an idea that that fixed thing will shift or change, the more we're sort of butting our head up against the wall, the more disappointed we'll be. We cannot do anything about the fixed thing. All we can do is sort of work with that thing, you know? And so I do feel like there is this energy about you, okay, that allows yourself to sort of, I don't want to say detach, because it's definitely not detaching. I feel like this is an energy of still being authentic and true to how you're feeling and what you're experiencing here, okay? But I feel like if you were feeling held back, or like you couldn't speak your piece, or like you weren't really understood, or definitely it feels like something like someone may be taking you for granted or advantage, or not valuing you if you've been invested in something here, okay? But it's like you shouldn't have to tell someone this or that, you know? But it's like your actions sometimes speak louder than words. And I feel like there's an important revelation, okay, that comes through with this communication. I do feel it's two-sided. This is actually really connecting to yesterday's collective, if you guys did resonate with that. Not for all of you guys, but for some of you guys, it's definitely sort of that same similar energy. I was seeing the two arrows, incoming communication. We're seeing, you know, the two flames here. And this does seem to me to be at a point where a communication has to sort of happen, in which there's truths that come out on both sides, okay? Like when we deal with reality and truths, we can now work with what's there, you know? When we're sort of ignoring the elephant in the room, then we can't really do much about the elephant itself, because no one's sort of calling the elephant out in some way. Now, I don't feel you were in denial, or I don't feel like you didn't know the elephant was there. I just feel like your circumstance sort of had you handcuffed in some way here. Okay, so now I feel like with this treat yourself, I feel like there's a shifting of energy, and this, whatever it was that you were sort of putting towards the solving of the mountain, if you will, okay, the problem or the fixed thing that you can't really do anything about, you're sort of directing this energy more towards self. Okay, and I do feel like this has happened because whatever you were needing to see or understand or learn, I feel has been something that you've seen enough, or you've heard enough, or you've, I don't know, got the lesson, or you learned the thing, or the thing was told to you in a way that you understand or see. And it's like, I no longer want to sort of squander and burn time or energy or service in this experience, because it's now sort of revealed itself in a way here. Okay. And I feel like the best thing that could happen is the truth of a situation, a person, or a circumstance, so that we can do something with the now present moment, instead of burning and turning, still trying to sort of get a mountain to move. You know, we don't get anywhere, and it just burns us out. It's like, don't put lipstick on a pig. The pig doesn't like it, and it just wastes your time. Okay, same sort of idea. It's like, I'm not going to just keep butting my head up against something here. And so now we could take this energy and we could do something different. Okay, and so I feel like there's a closure that you get. And now, this doesn't mean that this person or this job or this mountain is out of your life and you're never going to see it again, or this person or that experience at all. In fact, the world talks about a successful conclusion. And so I feel like there's a mutual or a doable or an acceptable agreement that's like, whoa, now I get it, or now I understand it, and I don't have to experience that frustration, or I don't have to experience what I did go through. And so if you're experiencing someone being ungrateful, or you doing a service, and this could just be like, I don't know, driving your friend around, it's deeper than this, but let's say you drive your friend around, you pick your friend up from work, you take their kids to school, and you're doing all this stuff, and it's like the friend doesn't really, it just keeps putting more and more sort of on you in some way, but it's like the truth, it gets sort of seen and talked about. And so then the friend's like, oh, I can see now that I've taken you for granted, or I can see now that what you were doing here, and I was oblivious to it, or I didn't, although there's no excuse here for whatever reason this is here, but it's like this friend can't, take you for granted, knowing what they know or having the conversation that they know. And it's like, we can move beyond this thing. And so you don't need to entertain that old energy. Okay. Because I do feel like it was stopping you from creating some new, world, or exploring whatever else is sort of coming in for you. And this is where my question is, because what I see here is something was stunted, and it didn't allow you freedom to explore and to move and to manifest something because of this. So this must have been very energetically time consuming or draining. It's like all of my energies, all of my efforts was focused on this mountain, or this fixed thing, or this problem, or this person, or this whatever it was. And we can't stay there, because we just get sort of trapped here, and it's like, I'm going to take my energy. I'm going to allow myself the permission to say, I can direct my energy elsewhere, which I do feel is more direct to you, which is great, because I feel you're being freed of this sort of dynamic, because I feel I don't know if it held your energy hostage, or it consumed a lot of you. Maybe you felt you had to be there, or for whatever reason, it was something you were doing. But I feel like it was showing you something, or you were learning something, you were understanding something about yourself. And this could be like feeling obligated, or feeling like someone had the higher power, or someone was sort of bossing you around or ordering you, or it's like, I have to do what everyone's sort of wanting from me or expecting from me, or what this situation would expect me to do or want me to do. And it's like, no, I'm no longer buying into that sort of story that I have to do or be what someone else is sort of trying to feed to me, because doing that didn't really get you anywhere. In fact, I feel it stunted you, or stopped you, or blocked you, or it had you sort of miss out, on like being able to move and create something for you, aligned with you, because I feel like you're wanting harmony, you're wanting to experience something here. And it's like, this thing doesn't let me explore whatever it was that I was wanting to experience or explore here. Okay, so I do feel like there's a conversation, and I do feel like there's a choice. And I feel like the choice is always there. It's always been present. Okay, but sometimes we can't make or see the choice in front of us when we're sort of haven't learned the lesson or understood what we were needing to see. I feel like there's something about you coming more into balance. I feel like there's something more about you being free to move, because I do feel like you felt stuck or hostage to some sort of thing. Okay, so it's like, yay, I could finally move. I could finally give myself the permission to choose differently, but also I can see the different choices I can make, or the path I can go, because all that I've seen in the past was the obstacle, or all that I was sort of chained to or blocked by was this thing that was very fixed. And no matter what I did, it was like always the same result, or not progressing, or feeling very stuck or heavy, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then it came with no sort of reward, if you will, because it felt like it was just taking from you, or like draining you. And and it's like, no matter sort of the good energy that I'm in, it won't make a difference here. Okay. And so Spirit is saying that's right, because it's not how you come at sort of that mountain in the different ways it's going to change that mountain. It's more of like completely sort of understanding it from a sort of different angle, like I'll go around it, or something like this that comes to you. Okay, so I do feel like there's closure here successfully in a phase of a lesson or a learning in which you felt blocked by a person, place, or a thing, most likely a person, like I said. And I do feel like, maybe it's felt very heavy emotionally here for you. And I do feel like maybe it even blocked your confidence in yourself. And because I do feel like maybe you felt like not good enough to start to choose you or to move out of this, or to, I don't know, there could have been like a confidence blow in yourself, or it's like you started to believe that maybe you weren't enough or not worthy, because it's like when someone's ungrateful or doesn't see your value or our service we give and see it of value, it's like maybe I'm not valuable, or maybe I'm not worthy, or maybe, and we don't have to buy those thought stories. And I don't think you buy those thought stories anymore, because it's like, I see my value. I see where I can energetically take this value, and it is value, by the way, and direct it differently. And I think Spirit's congratulating this sort of understanding that you're going to have, because this will allow you to open the door to the next chapter or whatever it is that you're going to be building. And so what's coming in is more of the freedom. It's the closure of some understanding and some restriction and some obstacle that felt very heavy or fixed or drained, that was pulling you down or keeping you down. And seeing the choice in front of you that allows you to then get excited about what's ahead of you, because the world's your oyster here. It feels like wherever you sort of want to go, you're able to move, and then there does seem to be a key revelation through a discussion, and I don't know if it's you finding your voice to speak your truth and being understood and just saying, oh, okay, now I understand and see this, or someone revealing some form of truth or communication where then you see the truth of your circumstance or situation. And so there's this, like I said, a successful understanding. I don't feel it's going to cause a big conflict or an argument. I feel like it's the solution to the next thing. Okay. So let's say if it's someone who feels like this mountain, it's like, how can we move beyond this thing so that we can now turn the chapter towards building the village around the mountain, because now we're not so focused on the problem itself. It's like we've reached some form of a conclusion that successfully allows us to move energy that's been stagnant or stuck in some way. But I do feel like you were dealing with someone who might have seemed, I don't know, tricky even with the wolf here, because now I'm seeing Red Riding Hood and like the wolf who pretends to be this or that, maybe you felt tricked or taken advantage of. Again, definitely taken for granted, or somebody sort of putting one energy out. I can't help but always stare at this and see like one big mushroom or something. It's not mushrooms, but mushrooms are all interconnected here. And so I feel like there is this I don't know how to word it, so I'm going to pull just a card here to see what am I feeling exactly, Spirit. What am I feeling here? And the fact that it's black and white, it hasn't been colored yet, so it's like you can make it what you want. What is this personal mandala about? So you see the Fool in reverse. So the Fool is all about trusting the universe, and nothing's more free than the Fool, because the Fool has no baggage. It moves freely. And the Fool in reverse could certainly be feeling almost, again, stuck to a circumstance or situation where we don't feel free to explore or move or manifest because it has our attention or energy. And we could even feel very foolish to believe, like, I don't know, anything other than whatever it is, because I feel like there's some belief that you had or some understanding that you had that had to be undone or seen or understood by you or spoken by you, so that you could really see that you are free, or that you don't need to carry this on your back. And so the only way to get rid of the baggage is to let it go, or to understand that it's not yours to carry. You could be definitely carrying someone else's baggage, with the mushroom here, it's all interconnected. And yeah, like sometimes, you know how mushrooms sort of are sitting onto itself and it's like dependent on each other in some way. And so it could be I was carrying someone else's baggage. And so someone else's, I don't know if it's weakness or someone else's dysfunction or someone else's, I don't know, handicap or challenge was sort of the weight I was picking up. And so the stronger sort of mushroom sort of feeds off to that little mushroom that's not making it. Like, I feel like there's something here about leeching onto your energy. Okay, and that's the baggage, and it doesn't allow for the freedom, and it doesn't allow for there to be the exploration of the new over here. And I do feel like it was stunting some sort of manifestation for you. Now let's pull one here for this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What could this be for pile number 3? Like I said, for all of you guys, it's a different manifestation, but yeah, the 9 Pentacles in the reverse. So someone depended on you, or you felt dependent on the situation that was taking from you, and it's like it took from your confidence, or it drained you financially or energetically. It was like, I don't know, it feels like a very, it could be a codependent relationship or a codependent experience situation that leaves you feeling stuck to it, or it's stuck to you. And so I'm not free to move. I don't feel confident in myself, or I'm not in a position that can now go to this new thing or create a new thing here. Okay, 9 plus 1 is 10, which is an ending, but 10 Pentacles is leaving our legacy. And in order to create a 10 Pentacle, we have to entertain a 9, which is I am standing with my own energy here, confident, available to create. I have the resources. I'm in the position here to make things happen. I feel like you didn't feel like you're in a position to make things happen because of your circumstance. Okay, again, whether financially or energetically here, feeling very tied, restricted, tied to the mountain or the thing that was sluggish or slow. It's like, so I can't build my 10 Pentacle. I can't create something here for the long term here. It's not manifesting, and it didn't feel like it was getting anywhere or progressing. So I do feel like it's closing here and it feels successful. Let's take a look at this communication. Sorry, I'm only doing this with your pile here because it seemed like I had lots of questions. So we have Aquarius. Okay, coming through, and then Taurus here. And I am feeling some Sagittarius energy, okay, just from the fire, but also the guidance here with the angels in the reverse. And then heavy earth we are feeling at the beginning, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So it could just be the Taurus here. Let's take a look. What is this communication that pile number 3 should know about for this being revealed, or this conversation? 2 of Wands in reverse. So remember I said, because I was really getting it from this, it's like seeing the options in front of you, the 2 paths that we weren't seeing before. I feel like you were blinded. I don't know if someone was trying to deceive you, or maybe you just couldn't find a way through. Now I'm really seeing these 2. Remember I said the 2 candles, 2 wands, the 2 choices. Okay, because when we, I don't know, like are in a situation where we haven't learned or seen something, it's like we believe there might be no choice or no option or no way out, or I don't see how to get through this thing, feeling very stuck, limited, to chain to something, or just, again, weighed down by that thing. And then it's like, how will I know how to navigate or move? I don't feel there's any option for me. I think this is the conversation, is like, the conversation allows me now to see that I wasn't seeing all of my choices or my options or my opportunity. It was stifling my life force energy to choose, my ability to choose and move, and know that that freedom is all in my hands. I could treat myself. I could choose differently. I don't need to wait on anyone or anything here. So this communication allows there to be movement for you to choose, because now it becomes available to you. What used to be sort of blocked here. Okay, there's a lot of blocked energy. This is what's exiting. Blocked, stuck, at the mercy of something that's fixed or stuck, and somehow it got you weighed down. I don't know who this person is. It fell in my lap. The Knight of Swords, yeah, communication, okay, but this Knight of Swords could sometimes be pretty abrupt, pretty aggressive with its words and its actions, but also, because, I don't know, was it your pile was talking about boundaries? I don't think so. Getting boundaries. You know, And so I don't know if this is like, here's where I draw the line, or here's my truth. And I think this liberates you. Look at the white horse, freedom, liberation. It's like my truth. I could speak it, I could see it, and I can now come forward with it. And this is what sort of severs the stuckness here. Okay. But I don't feel like I said, it's something that you're severing a relationship so much, unless of course you want to. I feel it's severing the stuckness here, or the lack of movement. So let's just pull one more for the world, and then we'll be done here. What is this world card about for pile number 3? Okay, this is definitely closing the chapters of something successfully and reaching some form of conclusion. And the world is the end of the major arcana. Then we start again with the Fool. But if we weren't seeing the world, we would just be repeating another cycle with the Fool. And so the world card here is very good, because I don't feel like you're going to repeat any sort of cycle. The Emperor in the reverse. So again, that energy of person comes through very strong. Okay, it doesn't have to be a masculine, because it could just be the boss figure, the person who had the upper hand, could be a masculine for sure. It could be someone in their shadow, someone who had more power, someone who was dictating and calling all the shots, or somebody who was telling you what to do, or I don't know, someone else's game, someone else's agenda, the big bad wolf. I don't know if you felt tricked by this person, because this person could have been an ego, could have been in shadow, could have been in a power trip, could have just believed their story, their rules, or whatever it was here. And it's like, this is what's coming to an end. This person's shadowy ruling over my energy in some way, because successfully there's a communication here that highlights this block. Okay. And I do feel it's a person who might have been trying to, I don't know, take advantage of you in some way. Now, this doesn't mean this person's bad in any way. It could be they were just in shadow. They were, taking you for granted, or they were so blinded by their ego. They didn't maybe realize, it's like, this communication now gets me to see that I was in ego, or in shadow, or trying to do something for myself at your expense here. And I feel this comes to an end, and you can challenge this thing and confront this thing so that you are free and liberated here. And I do feel it comes from a pure place with this white horse. It's the authentic self that expresses something here. It's not from anger. It's not from resentment. It's a need to have a truthful conversation, because I've seen, or I've learned something here, or I can no longer sort of explore here, because it feels like a dead end. And so now it's like, what are my choices? It's either this or that. And I can't sort of move with baggage here, and I can no longer just sort of stick around here either. So I think there's clarity in a communication that allows something to close. It highlights some bad behaviors here, or something here that was the root of the issue. And whatever you did experience that left you feeling a lack of self-confidence, or an inability to hone your own energy, sort of gets restored back to you, so that you're free too. Okay, and I did ask what this is, but it just seems like it's showing what's exiting. And I guess what you're gaining is closure. What you're gaining is clarity. What you're gaining is a new path that allows you freedom, so that you can manifest something. But I feel it's still far away, because what are you going to manifest here? I feel it could be really anything, depending on whichever path you choose, because I feel like you still need to choose. It's still, the choice is yours, this way, that way, around the mountains, plant around the mountain, the village, through the mountain, whatever, but I'm no longer trying to butt up my head against it, pretending this mountain is a little sort of path, because it's not. It's an obstacle here, or has been. Okay. I also feel what's coming through. Sorry, I know this is a long reading. If somebody was, again, taking you for granted, or advantage of you in some way here, I think they see this thing, they definitely see this thing. And I think because maybe one thing is like happens here, where it's like, it's just apparent, where maybe you just, speak your truth, or it happens in a way here where you do something which is very truthful, very aligned. It doesn't feel like it's retaliatory. And it's like the light bulb sort of comes on here where it's like, whoa, if I keep sort of taking advantage of pile number 3, and I don't feel it's someone consciously sucking your energy, but it could be, you know, only you sort of know here. I feel it's more shadowy. It's more like egoic. It's more like someone maybe trying to control, you know, or they have their blinders on about what they can get for themselves or protect themselves in some way, you know. But I feel like it is some lesson, and also maybe someone who had some form of power, but nobody has power over you, you know. Only when we believe or give away your power. And so you pull your power back here. Okay, I feel I'm missing something. So if you want to click off, you can, but I'm just going to see spirits. Can we wrap up this reading? I'm going to pull 3 cards. What is it that pile 3 needs to know about this? Is there anything more that pile 3 needs to know? So we have Aries now coming through. Aquarius. Anything pile number 3 needs to know to wrap this up about the situation, circumstance it's exiting and entering. Lots of reversals for your thing. The King of Pentacles in the reverse. The 9 of Swords in the reverse. And then the 10, sorry, not the 10. This is the 20, which is the awakening or the judgment. Judgment, World, Fool. Wow. 10 swords. Ending. And look at this person rubbing this person's feet. Again, something like kissing the hand, rubbing the feet, being of service. You know, when we are there for someone, or pampering them, or taking care of them, or something like this. I feel you've been doing something here. I feel like definitely 10's about an ending. Judgment, the world. Something's coming to an end here of the painful part of where whatever was sort of taking advantage of your energy here. There's a realization. Okay. And so if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, stress up in your head about a situation or circumstance here, this is coming to an end, because I do feel like whoever this energy was, it doesn't feel like yours, feels like 2 different energies. Okay. But like I said, it could be a place even, but a person, it's like I couldn't rely on this person, or this person was withholding, or maybe this person was, someone I couldn't rely on, or they were too dependent on me to do the thing, you know, because this is dependency. And this could be somebody who's like, I can't do it myself, and so I'm going to use your money, your car, your resource, your this, your that. And it could put us in a place of burden. And so it's like, well, now I see the truth. And like I said, this communication, okay, so it could be a communication that puts an end to that mental story. That's like, I could see now where I'm being taken advantage of, or maybe this person sees what they couldn't see, because we have 2 people here, you know, because sometimes we're just acting and we don't realize we're maybe pulling on someone else's energy, or we're just blinded by our own ego that we don't realize we're hurting someone, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be malintent or someone really like purposefully trying to hurt us, you know. It's just an energy of, now I can see, now I understand, and now the judgment sort of time is here. And so Spirit is the only one who can roll out the judgment, okay, the karma or whatever. We can't roll out judgment or on anyone or anything, but Spirit says the time is here. Whatever you have been doing, okay, has been something. And I do feel like you're on the giving end of this thing. You've been trying to make someone feel good physically here. I don't know. There's the massaging, there's, you know, but it could be just symbolic of like making someone else's life easier for them. It's like no more, because now it's time to choose me. Even this person's robed or clothed, this person's naked. It's like I give the shirt off my back. Okay, and sometimes we're in that sort of energy when we're just like, I don't know, we have to learn the lesson, you know, of self-love, self-worth, and choose ourselves, but not from the place of, like I said, this a boundary where it's like, you come correctly and I choose me because I'm empowered. This isn't what this is about. This is about opening the heart space and learning to love self like we would other. And when we're totally in an acts of service to other, so much so at the expense of ourself, this is This is an unkind thing we're doing. We're not doing it to please another. We're doing it because there's something unhealed within us. Okay? Because when we're actually giving from a place that's overflowing, it can never run dry. We can never be taken advantage or experience an ungrateful energy. And we just move with the energy of where our services are needed, and we give, and we don't sort of keep tabs or keep track or feel taken advantage of. But the experience here is one to show you, because I do feel like there's a need to see one's own self-worth, value oneself, give one the energy you've been maybe invested in someone else. And if you've been pouring into someone financially, energetically, it's like they see the truth, I see the truth. We've overcome this thing. We can't go back to this the way it was. It was too painful. I'm standing up for myself, where I can finally see, and I'm acting and understanding differently. This is coming to an end, and let's move on to the next thing here so that we can work together, or that I can move forward or build something new, because whatever this is, it's over. No more. Okay? No matter how much you love this person, place, or thing, because I do feel there's a lot of love here, but we have to love ourselves enough to take this beautiful energy. Look at this beautiful pink she's wearing. Okay? Pink here. Self-love. So direct it inwards. Beautiful angel, this is all I can read for you for this reading. I hope this helped you. I love your energy very much. Okay? And I do love this shift for you, because it does feel very empowering and very revealing. And I do feel it's revealing to every sort of player involved here. Okay? Bless you. I'll see you at the next one. I love you so, so much. And I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.